Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. We are EBS, your experienced technology partner. We specialize in the deployment of Sage Business Management and Microsoft solutions, managed services and secure on-premises and cloud-based infrastructure. We are now in our 44th year. My name is Darren Tolley and I am one of the account managers here at EBS. Today we are joined by Sicon, who we've partnered with for many years. Sicon are a Sage ISV, independent solutions vendor for Sage 200, and provide a wide range of innovative solutions for Sage 200. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Nikki Wright, our account manager at Sicon, who will show us how Sicon Barcoding and Warehousing has helped one of our clients. By using handheld devices, they've removed ungainly paper processes, they've improved stock accuracy, reduce stock take time through use of dynamic stock take, reduce time taken to move stock through booking in to put away and picking and dispatching. And they've gained better insight with access to real-time data across the business. And also, as a result of all of the above, they've improved their customer service as their sales teams have up-to-date real-time visibility of what stock is on hand. We are recording today's presentation and we'll make it available to you in the next few days. There are lots of recordings on our YouTube channel. Remember to hit subscribe to receive notifications when we load new videos. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat, or there will be an opportunity at the end of the presentation in the Q&A session. So without further ado, I'll pass you over to Nikki. Morning, Nikki.
Good morning. How are we all? And thank you very much for that introduction. I thought I'd start just with my camera on to say hello, but once I get into the demonstration, of course, we'll turn the camera off and share my screen. Sicon, as Darren alluded, have been creating add-ons for Sage 200 for in excess of 25 years now. And it really opens the Sage 200 system up into many different industry sectors. Today, as Darren said, we're going to look at barcoding and how one of his customers has benefited from using the system. So without further ado, let me do the technical bit and share my screen. And hopefully we've started there. This is our website, and I'll take you back to that later. But I'm going to start off in Sage 200. Now, just some of the key functions, I suppose, of our barcoding software, and as Darren alluded to, how his customer has benefited is it is integrally within the Sage 200 database, which means that rollout is much quicker and more seamless for your warehouse team. It means that all of the existing purchase orders and sales orders will be available on the handheld, ready to receipt and to dispatch as soon as you go live. So what does that look like and how is that going to work for you? I thought if we'd done some of those key functions, you'd be able to see how it feels and whether, of course, it is going to be suitable for your environment too. So first of all, in terms of purchase orders, I have put one on today ahead of the demonstration and goods receipt so that we can see some of the basic functions. We've got 10 espresso machines, 10 cups and a dishwasher. The reason I have chosen the dishwasher is because it is a batch or serial traceable item in my world. So we get to see some of that function as we flow through. But at the moment, nothing's receipted. If I close that away and come down to our handheld, come in to receive our purchase orders, our one there, 4307. And the user can see straight away the items that are to be receipted. Now, because I don't have barcodes in my world, I am going to be using the plus and minuses or the ability to type. You can set permissions behind this that ultimately decides whether your user has to scan a few items before they can then type the quantity. I can choose to print labels at this point, or you can also see down here, we have the identifier to say this is going to be a serial or batch traceable item. So when I go to receipt that, it is asking me to now scan that serial number. Of course, I'm just going to make it up. I can also take a picture of the goods receipt note, which in my world is just going to be a picture of my mouse today, which we'll see flow back to the original purchase order, giving you that full traceability and a reduce in paperwork. So when I go to confirm receipt, it will ask me for a GRN, a narrative should I need to. And that little green banner just goes to say that we are now connected with Sage. We've pushed that information back up. So when I go to look at the purchase order now, come to quantities, you'll see them all receipted in. And because I'm using Sicon documents, the picture of the goods receipt note against the purchase order, as I explained. So that's just one of the basic functions. It's going to improve the warehouse management of receipting those items in. But what's that next stage? Well, it's putting away. If I come to put away, and again, I'm just going to look for my items here. And there I've got 100 espresso machines to put away, 2,580 to go into different areas for the cups. Here I can decide how many of them I'm going to put away from the goods in bin. And these are all of the existing bin locations that this stock item has resided already. Now for me, I'm going to put it in my pick face bin, and I'm going to move, say, 50 of those. So from goods in into BA01, confirm movement. So again, your users are being given the information on the handheld. What do they do next? Where am I putting that stock away? So what happens off the back end of that? Sales order dispatching is just as easy. There are a few considerations, however, when it comes to sales orders dispatching and how you operate as an organisation. If I just come and put an order on for Sicon, and we can see some undispatched sales orders. I'm going to use my invoice address there. And this time, I'm going to actually sell some of those items that we just purchased. Let's say we're going to do 10 of those again. And we'll add one of our dishwashers. Now, the reason I'm bringing you into a traditional sales order here is because there are some differences. You'll notice up here that we have the ready to pick flag and also the ability to assign a picker. When I save this sales order, because I already have stock, it will automatically tick this ready to pick flag, meaning that it is available therefore on the handheld to be dispatched. If you want the sales order to be fully fulfilled with stock before it is dispatched, there are settings behind this that we can utilise for you. I'm just going to save this away. Ignore some of these pop-ups. There's our number 5742. come back down into the handheld to dispatch our sales orders straight away. 5742 is available. So the processes are speeded up internally for you. What this says is there are other orders for this customer with the same address. Do you want to create a wave pick? That means you can utilize the couriers, the delivery, the boxes, and put everything into the same dispatch. I'm going to say no for today because I just want to flow you through the traditional way first of all. I can see the sales order details, the quantity to pick, who I'm sending it to. If I come over to the pick, utilizing Sicon documents, I can now see a picture of what it is I am actually picking. I can also see the location as to where it's sending me to. You would be scanning your items at this point, but I'm just going to tap that in. This time with the dishwasher, it's asking me to select the serial item as well. I'm going to say that's the one in CA01 that's available. I have pick, pack and dispatch turned on. You guys may just have pick and dispatch. It is entirely up to how you operate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to put these into separate boxes. So if I say box 1 is going to have the 10 espresso machines. And then I'm going to create an additional box to pack the dishwasher. Again, getting me to confirm that serial item number. And we're good to go. We are ready to dispatch our items. Within a matter of 30 seconds, we're able to get that information into the handheld device. See the camera again. This time I'll take a picture of my coffee cup. But lots of our customers are using this to take a picture of the packaging, the items in the boxes, to prove that they left their location in a reasonable state. I'm going to say dispatch all those packed items. Now I have another module turned on, which is the courier module that sits on top of our barcoding very nicely. It allows the warehouse team to pick the courier service, but that can also be done at the sales order level too. So I'm going to dispatch in a couple of seconds. It's going to say I don't have a printer, so it's failed on my label. But if we come back into Sage, just give it a refresh. There's our one there, 5742. Have to admit, sometimes I do go a little bit quick, but hopefully you will see. I come down to quantities. We've got our dispatched. I come to dispatches, and I have gone a little bit quick because the courier information hasn't come across, but we have the ability to print any additional labels from here, as well as see the items as they were dispatched. So that's goods receipting, sales order dispatching, two of the very key functions that the warehouse team need to use the barcoding device for. The next thing I thought I'd take you into is stock take, because there are a couple of iterations that we now give you the option to utilize. If I just scroll down my very extensive menu there, that's because I've got permissions to see everything within the system, but you'll see stock take and dynamic stock take. I hear so many people still running a stock take with a piece of paper and a pen and a clipboard and getting people to go off and to manually count. We want to make that a little bit more streamlined for you and reduce the paperwork, as Darren alluded to earlier. So what I've done this morning is I have sent a stock take down to the handheld for us to explore. There's no values, there's no count behind this at the moment. I've selected particular locations that I would like my user to go and count from. So if I come into warehouse, goods in, production, and the Sicon picked bin. Off you go, Nikki, go and count. These are the items that are expected within that location. And here I can say, well, I found 4 of those, 5 of those, 4 of those, 100 kilograms of some flour, some freestanding cookers, a coffee maker, and that's my confirmation of count for that bin. I'd hope that your users would do a lot better than what I do. When we come to production, you can see right away there is a serial traceable item. So I'm going to say I expect 2, and now it's saying, well, what are the serial numbers for those? Now I'm not going to go through with that because I don't have the serial numbers to hand. So I'm just going to say a few of those. And in the picked bin, we're only expecting 1. So what does that do? That now sends it automatically back up to Sage. So no more paperwork, no more entering values. If I come and just make that a little bit bigger, you'll see there's my count. There's my 100 kilograms of kosher flour. If I come a bit further down into production where I've done some more counts, we will have a look at the discrepancies now, because actually there's quite a big variance going on. And in this instance, I would send it back down to Nikki and say to her, that count was awful, do it again. However, if you are ready to accept those counts, then of course you can put a narrative, and you do have a variance account nominal structure that you can post to. Massive reducer in time, massive reducer in paperwork. Dynamic stock take is a little bit more fluid than that, because it does mean that after that count on the handheld, you have the ability to either add or write off stock at that very point. So it is very dynamic and very easy to then get that information into Sage. A couple of the other key functions. What I really like is our stock inquiry. It does mean that if you find something, I just put our stock code in. If you find a stock item, or you'd like to know some information about a particular stock item, you can scan it. It will give you information, whether it's traceable, its product group, if there are any on order, and the locations of which that item resides. Now you could see I could do that inquiry on a stock item, a location, the traceable item itself, the serial number, or even a shipping container. There are warehouse transfers that can be utilised that give you that full traceability of the stock being dispatched from one warehouse and then being receipted into the other warehouse and seeing that stock in transit. There are inspections that can be set up for you to utilise as well, so that when goods are receipted and they go into an inspection area, they can then be passed and failed before they are put away. Lots and lots of features for you to utilise. But I suppose really it's over to you guys. Is this something that you feel would improve your processes? Is it something that you could see your users utilising and being comfortable with being trained on? Darren, have we had any questions so far?
Let me just unmute myself. Yeah, there's a couple here. So well, not specifically, but what hardware in terms of the handhelds will work with Sicon barcoding and warehousing?
So it really depends on the environment. We don't get involved too much in the hardware because we leave it down to the experts. We like to say that it has to be taken into consideration what type of barcode you're going to be using. The device I'm using today can scan both QR codes, a 2D barcode, and traditional barcodes, which are 1D barcodes. So that's something to take into consideration. The speed in which you need to process, the wireless connection that you have within the warehouse, and also how many people need to be using those devices. How many items are you goods receipting or dispatching of a day? It's all to be taken into consideration. But we do have a working relationship with a company called JM Prime, who are very good at sort of giving you advice on what would work best for your environment. And also EBS, you guys there generally come and do a bit of a warehouse scoping and make some suggestions.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we work with GM Prime and we supply and supply uh, the required handheld devices along with the solution.
Some people use those Bluetooth trigger scanners with a tablet, ruggedized tablet perhaps. Other people like to have those trigger grips. Also charge, thinking about battery charge and of course how long they're going to be able to be in use before they need to be charged as well. That's another thing to take into consideration.
Yeah, we generally recommend a spare is purchased for sort of to cover all eventualities, but there are sort of 4-port charging cradles that that you can buy along with these things. So overnight they're charging and you know they'll last the whole day, the following day generally. One other question we touched on courier,
Yes.
the ability to integrate basically with courier systems, at least for domestic carriers in any case. I think you said, you know, you don't have to have barcode and warehousing to actually have that. You can buy that as a
That can
module
be a
that works
separate
alongside.
module.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. It just, for us, I think it really finishes off the dispatching. So we have it turned on in our demo environments to kind of give you that final piece. I think there was one, if I just come to here and onto my dispatches. I did do one earlier today. And there you can see, so we have a test server with DPD, so it allows me to actually send that up to their test server and get courier shipment and tracking ID to reflect. So when I come to print the courier labels and have a look at those, bear with me because of course that had to open in the smallest. I get my full courier label that can be reprinted should it need to. But DPD has now had that instruction to come and pick that package up, meaning I don't have to get involved.
Perfect.
You can see delivery service there. So I alluded to earlier, you don't necessarily have to have the warehouse team to select the courier service. That can be done at sales order level, therefore removing the need for the barcoding, as you said.
Okay, that's really good. There's loads of information on the website, isn't there, about all of this too?
Absolutely, and just one of the other case studies that come in recently actually was for a customer using Barcoding and Warehousing, and they dispatched 3,580 parcels in one day. So that hopefully gives you a bit of a sight of the capacity as to which we can flow for your environment. Lots of information, product brochures, product data sheets, there's even some videos. But our help and user guides are also phenomenal when it comes to looking for information and screenshots. But yeah, thank you very much for your time today. If there are no more questions, then if anybody would like to set up a more one-to-one session in the future, then contact Darren and we can get that arranged for you.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for doing that, Nikki. As Nikki said, basically just get in touch with us if you've got any queries or questions. You can email us also at info@ebs.tech, and one of our team will pick that up and come back to you. Thanks very much for watching.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.